guess so.
Right. The Auburn basketball team scored its first win in the Memorial Coliseum at Tuscaloosa in 13 years last night, beating back an Alabama rally at the end to take a 91-86 win. The victory gave Auburn 2 wins on the road, the best start for the Tigers since 1976.
It was obvious from the outset that Auburn came to Tuscaloosa to play. The Tigers outshot, out-rebounded, and out-hustled the Tide to mount an early lead. Chuck Person and Craig Turner led the assault. Person was deadly from outside there, hitting 2 of his team-high 22 points. Turner had 19. That jumper in the paint put Auburn up 30-21, the Tigers' biggest lead. The Alabama player said their slow start was a lack of intensity that somehow they just couldn't explain.
I can't explain why, we just came out, caught us flat. Auburn was shooting the ball real well tonight.
I think everybody was ready to play. We just, had a lack of intensity and, they just out-hustled us.
But I think we came out just a little flat, and they came out and they was running the ball down the sideline and was scoring on them. And they kind of like was hot first half.
But Alabama battled back in the first half. Red-hot sophomore transfer Darrell Neal leading the way. He couldn't seem to miss from the outside. He led all scorers with 26. And when Craig Dudley makes the steal and feeds Neal for the slam at the buzzer, it was 42-41 tied at halftime. Auburn center Charles Barkley, plagued this season by back problems, didn't start the game. And when he came off the bench, he picked up 3 fouls in just 3 minutes of playing time. A little talk at halftime apparently settled Charles down.
Well, he went in there and he made a personal battle with Bobby Lee Hurd, and that's not the way you play this game. You make it a team game, and he understood that in the second half and went out and played with the team, and when he does that, he's an exceptional player.
Barkley started the second half and was a dominant factor. He scored all 11 of his points and yanked down 9 rebounds. He showed no signs of the nagging back spasms, but more importantly, he was the boost that young team was looking for.
Charles went out for the first time at Charles and going to Game of 5 trouble. I got a little scared, and I was pressing a little. I was making turnovers I usually don't make. But when he came back in, that sort of gave me a spark, and that sort of turned the team around, and we played hard from there on out.
I'm looking forward to the rest of the season. I just hope I can keep improving and getting back in better condition.
Alabama had foul problems in the second half. Both Eric Richardson and Buck Johnson fouled out with more than 7 minutes remaining. But the Tide wouldn't fold. This steal and layup by Terry Connor put Alabama up 84-83 with 1:56 remaining. But when Barkley followed with his putback, Auburn was back in the lead to stay. Person canned 4 straight free throws, and when Barkley jammed one at the buzzer, it was time to celebrate a 91-86 Auburn win.
The Alabama game's the biggest game for us in the season, and it was a great win for our people. As a team victory, it wasn't one of those things where one guy stood out. Everybody played extremely well, and
I don't think I've had anything disappoint me so bad in all my life. I guess I'm thankful for good health and a good family, but this game kills me. It just kills me.
From here, Alabama takes their 1-1 conference slate to Kentucky to meet the preseason favored Wildcats on Monday night. Auburn will be at home Saturday against Florida. The Tigers now at 2-0 in the conference. Rick Pons, WSFA TV Sports, Tuscaloosa.
The Auburn Basketball Review with Coach Sonny Smith. Brought to you by the Colonial Company. And by Pepsi-Cola and your local Pepsi-Cola bottler. And by Long's Electronics, tomorrow's electronics today. And by the Adolph Coors Company, the best of the Rockies is yours.
And welcome to the Auburn Basketball Review. Coach Sonny Smith, congratulations to you and the Tigers on really a great start. Just really out of the box fast. How long has it been since you had a team that's been shooting over 60% in the last 2 or 3 games from the floor?
Well, 3 straight games over 60, and 4 or 5 straight games since the Mercer game back in December. We've shot the ball with confidence. We've taken good shots. We've played well as a team offensively, and I'm really happy with things right now.
And that's not a misleading statistic because you've been playing against some good zone teams and getting the shots.
Every night out, we basically faced a zone. Mm-hmm. They felt like that was the way to beat us, and basically it's been a 2-3 zone, but I think some of that is changing now to a certain degree. Teams are starting to mix up the defenses a little because they're not as effective against us in the zone as they once were. So I'm hopeful that this club can keep up this shooting streak that they're in, because shooting is the key to us winning.
And Anytime you're shooting great as a team, some individuals are really going good, and Chuck Person has to be the surprise of this league right now.
Well, he's shooting 57% from the field. He's leading the conference in scoring. He's second in rebounding and was leading up until this week, and he's right in the top 5 or 6 in free throw shooting. He's playing much better defense, and I'd have to put him in the category of an all-around player right now. And you know, I just wonder, when's he going to do something wrong? And you know, that's kind of putting pressure on a kid like Chuck, but he's the kind of guy that can handle things like that.
Yes, maybe he will just stay hot this entire basketball season. If he does, Auburn will have something to say about the championship. We will return, and we will take a look at the highlights of one of Auburn's better outings, the victory over Florida at the Memorial Coliseum. We'll do that after we pause for these words.
Today you need.
Trivia tonight on today's program has to do with Auburn's basketball homes on campus, and the first two, the first one is started in 1906 when Auburn began playing basketball. They played in a wood frame one-story building on campus, which cost the tidy sum of $1,848 to build. Then in 1916, they moved into what was known as Alumni Gym, capacity of 600. That was a 3-story brick building. They used that, by the way, from 1916 to 1947, a long time, Coach. And it was, the Alumni Gym was on the present side of the Union Building cafeteria. That was a building that cost some $6,000 to construct. We'll tell you more about Auburn's basketball homes down through the program today. Let's move into the highlights of the win over Florida at Memorial Coliseum, a television game, and another situation, Coach, where your team comes out and just sizzles to get things going, and that's got to be sweet music to an old coach.
There's a great Ronnie Williams from Florida making one of his patented offensive moves around the basket and didn't hit it, and then Greg Turner comes down on a fast break on a trailer situation, hits the outside jumper for us. If you'll notice in this game, we're playing behind Florida's 2 big men. We felt like we couldn't front them. They would lob too much on us. We're moving the basketball real well against their zone. There's Vern Strickland shooting from the corner. We're playing man-for-man defense, which is not our #1 defense, but we played man-for-man defense in the first half extremely well, and we started out rebounding well, Phil, but got out-rebounded in the ball game, and here we are facing what we face every night, the press, and Vernon Strickland breaks it and gets a nice layup for us, and they're coming down. They're very patient on offense and trying to get the ball down inside, but we're getting a little bit quicker hands at the guard situation right now, and Gerald White is especially creating a lot of turnovers with his hands, and we get a nice turnover here, and we're being pressed. We break the press again and get it down. We're looking for it, and Persons takes the outside shot and hits it, and he was sizzling this night.
That's right. 8-2 was the score right out of the box there.
Well, here we're facing this press that everybody seems to think we're going to have problems with the press. A bounce off for another 3-point play by Vernon Strickland, and actually people's pressure defenses are what is helping us. And here's the quick hands of Chuck Person stealing and passing off to Frank Ford, who takes it in for a layup, and Frank's getting a little more confident as he goes along and played an outstanding all-around ball game in this. Here's Ronnie Williams, and Ronnie is great at drawing fouls, got this shot blocked, and a lot of that was because of our defensive strategy of playing behind instead of side fronting as you normally would a player as great as Ronnie Williams. Andrew Moulton shooting the ball in. He's going to be an outstanding shooter in our league.
You didn't start Charles Barkley, but they were really ruling the boards, and you could see the difference when Charles got in there. He got in and
Charles always creates the intimidation factor, and he's always going to give you the potential rebound every time down. It was good to get him in. That was Vernon Delancey scoring a basket with his left-hand line drive shot that he shoots so well. They're still playing the zone, spreading the zone on us. We get it to Chuck Person, and Person is now using the dribble move quite a bit better than he used to, Phil, and I'm really happy with that.
23-18 was the score at that point.
This is a big rebound by Greg Turner, passed off to Paul Daniels, who goes in, looks like he's going to shoot, and gives it up to Frank Ford, and Frank makes a fine power move to the basket. We're in a zone at this point because we had got a couple of quick fouls, and we didn't play the zone very well in this ball game, but we did shoot extremely well, over 60%, and a lot of that caused with the fact that Person shot so well, and actually we shot 62% for this ball game. There's a nice rebound by Chuck, who was leading the league in rebounding prior to this game, only ended up with 7 rebounds in the ball game and lost his lead. He's in second place. Our ball movement was well, and this is one of the only shots that Chuck missed, but it's rebounded and put back in by Charles Parker.
One of the few putbacks, too, that Auburn got in the first half.
We only got 2 second shots in the whole ball game, and Florida got 10 second shots and scored on 8 of them. It was very disturbing to us, but I think a lot of this was caused by the defense that we're in right now.
We're in the second half now. Auburn with a 2-point lead at the half. They closed it down.
And
you're going to see a great turnaround in here.
Here is a second shot situation by Ronnie Williams and Gene McDowell. It hurt us so bad, Phil. And we shut down Moulton in the second half with our zone, and that certainly helped us. And here's a nice pass off on a pass from Frank Ford to Chuck Person. And Frank Ford is now handling the middle on the break as well as a point guard, Phil.
I'm telling you, the running for Auburn against Florida was really, there's another one of those.
Had we been able to shut the second shot down, as you just watched, it would have been a much better all-around ball game for us. There's Frank Ford out on the point, driving down into the middle of the zone, throwing up a drive and hitting it, and it looked real good. Now, we're going to change here any minute now to a man-for-man defense, and Charles Barkley with the rebound off to Frank Ford, bounced in the middle to Charles, and he's up with a power move and scores. And he's beginning to show signs of being able to score again at the rate that he did a year ago.
Man right here.
And he's playing a little bit better defense. We're back to man, and this, I think, is where it all got started for us. We got man. We got a little bit better rebound in position. We started our fast break, and this was an outstanding layup by Gerald White, who was injured on this play a little bit in the hip, but he got better. Paul Daniels replaced him and played real well. We're in the zone on an out-of-bounds play here, and we stopped Moulton, and here's Vern Strickland getting on the boards, and Paul making a great pass and a dunk to Frank Ford.
You got break off almost every rebound through this period. Right here.
Through this stretch, we did it because we were rebounding well. We were making Florida catch the ball going away from the basket. Here's Vern with another rebound and a beautiful half-court bounce pass, three-quarter court bounce pass by Vernon Strickland to Frank Ford. And Frank really kind of got us going there with his run-outs. He's a good fast-break basketball player, and here's a drive along the baseline by Greg Turner, something Greg couldn't do a year ago as well as he's doing it right now, and I'm very happy to see him be shooting it over a 50% clip.
That is terrific. Here goes the turnover, and here's Frank Ford. Not only is he big and strong, Sonny, but he is quick, and it's difficult for you to deny him that layup there. Now, Moulton wanted to, but he couldn't.
He shields the man off of him real well, and as he becomes a more confident ball handler, he's going to get better and better and better. And there's a great rebound by Eugene McDowell, who actually is the second-best rebounder in this league. They went to man at this point, and we went right inside immediately, and Charles responded with the dunk that almost tore the goal down, and we're hoping to get more of these. Here's an inside move for Chuck Person. We kind of spreading the inside moves around, and this was a very good basketball game by our team, and I'm hopeful it gave us some confidence and have us ready to play. Now, they're running back on us. We get another break and another breakaway out to Paul Daniels. It's nice to see Paul dunk.
Sure is. How's his health?
Well, he was injured slightly in practice this week again, and the groin injury may be back on him a little bit. We kind of jerked him out real quick, and hopefully he'll be ready to play. There's Terry Martin on the court, and a block by Charles Barkley, and Terry Martin is getting some playing time now. And they're back into the press that we break and do real well with here again. And we're pushing the ball real well and getting it down the court against presses, and I was really happy with the way things went as far as being pressed in this ball game.
Frank Ford getting the break, but some great passes. Good passing will just tear up that pressure, won't it?
Well, it will, and everybody just keeps pressing us. They have every year since we've been here, and I'm glad to see them. There's Terry Martin, another one of our freshmen from Atlanta, Georgia, making a drive into the lane. He shoots equally well, Phil, with both hands. And it was nice to see Terry have such a nice game.
Nice to see the coach in the victory interview at the end of the game.
Yeah, it's good. Good to get talk on television, Casey.
Okay. It was really a kind of an easy win for Auburn. Midway of the second half, the switch to the man defense and the breaks off of it, and Auburn built a 15-point lead, and really the game was never in doubt after that run they made right there in the middle of the game. Coach, we'll be back in just a minute, and we want to talk a little bit about some of the strategy and some of the situations in the game that really helped you overcome Florida. We'll do that after we come back from these messages. Talking about Auburn's basketball arenas over the years, and the number 3 stop in Auburn's basketball homes was 1948 when they moved into the spacious sports arena with a capacity of 2,500. That became affectionately known, by the way, as the Barn, where Auburn played and scored many upsets through the 50s and the 60s in the Barn, which actually was nothing more than a old Army surplus building that they got. Did you know, Sonny, from Camp Livingston?
I know that some of the greatest years in Auburn basketball was in the sports arena, and it's really something to get the old players back together, and they meet once a year along with Coach Joel Eves, and they pick a spot and they get together, and the stories that come out of the sports arena are really something, and I really enjoy those get-togethers, and I'm looking forward to the one again.
It's really one of the unfortunate things about big-time basketball is they've gotten away from those cozy little boxes where they used to play, which was
I think the big arenas today sometimes take away from the home court advantage that you have, and the closeness, and also the feeling that the fans can get for a player. You know, they feel closer to a team in those arenas. You know, and but the big arenas, you got to have them.
Florida had a good plan in this game. This was a battle of 2 of the best rebounding teams in the league. In fact, Auburn had been averaging 40 rebounds a game coming in, and they were out-rebounded by Florida 35-30. So Norm Sloan did have a good plan. He realized that to win the boards would give them a chance to win. How were they doing that, sir?
Well, just one quick thing that really hurt us bad, and we had to switch to man-for-man defense to take care of. And normally we play a 3-2 zone, as we're showing here on the board. 3 men out and 2 men in under, with a big guy in the middle. And the black is the defense, and the yellow is the offensive team. They put a man behind our zone, and the man behind our zone, as you see here, indicated right here, stood in approximately this area, and he was 6'10", and it was very difficult. You couldn't get anybody down here to block him off the board. If you brought someone down to block him off the board, you left a 6'9" open to get the rebound. So he, as quick as the ball would go up, he would just step in here, and when they missed a shot, they always had Eugene McDowell here to tip the ball in, and they hit 8 for 10 second shots, and they stayed in the game based on second shots. So they made the zone ineffective because of the 6'10 or 6'11 play of Eugene McDowell back here. And we switched to a man-for-man defense and played behind their big people in this manner right here. Then when we switched to the man, we started to control the backboards. We started with the fast break and got it going at that point. And when that happened, it changed the game around totally. So some nights, you know, you think zone is the best to play, and it ends up not being the best to play. It ended up for us that man-for-man was the best way to play Florida, and I'm happy that we decided to go to that at the 10-minute mark in the second half.
One of the things that it seems to me is helping your team, too, is the great shooting against zones, of course, is forcing them to play your man and allowing you to run that low-picking game that you all do so well, which is setting you up for some easy shots.
Well, you know, I think the book on us has been play a zone and beat Auburn, and I think a lot of that has been just perennial. They do it all the time, and I think teams think that we are not going to be able to keep shooting the ball at the rate to do. But I think what they fail to understand is the fact that we opened this season with a total perimeter game. We didn't have the inside game. When Charles Barkley left and Greg Turner had not started playing it as well as he does now, we had to be an outside ball club to beat people, and we ended up beating them. Close, but we beat people. And I think that established our outside game. Now we're in the process of establishing our inside game, and you put the inside game with the outside game, and you have problems right then for everyone. The inside-outside game's what beats people, and right now we have had that, and that's allowed us to shoot 60%, over 60% in the last 3 ball games. Hopefully we can keep that up.
Okay, and the spotlight players from the win over Florida were Vernia Strickland first. Let's take a look at him.
Well, Vern's a transfer from South Carolina and was a great player at M. Sampson High School in Gadsden, Alabama. Here you see him doing something we want him to do more of, the outside jump shot. He's also the trigger man on the presses that they play against us now. He's taking it to the goal with confidence and helping us there. And here he makes a nice three-point play, and he's handling the ball real good. He's doing an excellent job for us, Phil, for a high school center turned small forward, and that's what he's playing and doing well. He's shooting the ball from the free throw line with confidence, and he gives us effort like Rich Valovicius used to give effort. We've compared him to Rich before, and I'm really happy that he chose to come back to Alabama and to play for us. And here's Frank Ford, the freshman that plays older than his years. He's doing a tremendous job for us on the fast break. He's also doing a good job on the board. Here you see him handling the basketball, something they said he couldn't do, and he's handling it very, very well. Here you see him playing the point, taking it into the heart of the zone and jumping up and shooting it in. Here you see him out on the break, making the pass and getting up with that real quick accelerated jump that he has. He's an outstanding jumper. People have not seen him, and here you see Vernia Strickland give him a nice lead, and he goes in and hangs in the air. Frank is good at drawing fouls and will get better at that as he goes along, and he also has quick hands. Here you see him making a big steal. So Frank is doing a tremendous job for us, and up to this point, one of the main reasons that we were able to win on the road. We won 7 games on the road, more than we ever have any year, and we're just into the season. I think a great part of that's got to be attributed to Frank Ford. He played like a veteran when we needed veteran play because of all the injuries that we've had.
We'll be back in just a minute. Okay, when did Auburn move into Memorial Coliseum, the big place? It was 1969 when they moved into their $6 million multi-purpose building. First basketball game was against LSU on January 11, 1969, and it's one of the fine basketball arenas, not only in the SEC, but in the country. As we told you last week, Auburn, of course, I guess everyone knows who's interested in basketball, had one of the best recruiting years of any college in America. Several first-year people are on the team, coming along very well, giving Auburn a really fast start in this SEC race, and we want to meet them each week on this program. Today we talked to the young man who comes from the golfing country of Augusta, Georgia, Gerald White. He's doing quite well at Auburn. We asked him how things are breaking in for
him. I've got a chance to play in the last game. I played about 30 some odd minutes, and I did real good. I felt real comfortable in the game, and I feel like the more I play, the more I can get adjusted into the college game.
Is it a matter of learning the system and then becoming comfortable in it so that you can build your confidence?
No, I pretty well know the system. I know the system real well. It's just that getting the confidence, and I feel like now it's here, and now I'm ready to put it on the line.
You're associated with golf. Jim Dent is a relative of yours, and you work the Masters a lot. You ever consider playing golf?
No, I just love to watch it. I love for the people to come in, the celebrities and everybody come in during that month of April, and it's just a real nice time in Augusta.
You just don't think you could do that professionally, huh?
No, I don't think so. That's too much pressure there. I don't think I could.
Being a highly recruited player out of Georgia, how did you come to Auburn?
Well, Pat Dye played a lot in me coming to Auburn. Coach Smith and Coach Banks, all of them played a great part. Coach Dye's from my hometown. He made a great impression on me, recruited me very heavily. And town is nice. I really like the quiet town. And, you know, it's just not that far away from home. I didn't want to go too far away, like have to catch a plane ride home. So everything is working out fine now. Auburn is everything I expected it to be. It's great here. I love it.
What would you like to accomplish in your playing days here?
My playing days here, I like to accomplish to be in the NCAA tournament every year I'm here. Win it, if it happens, great. but I just want to be in it every year I'm here.
Gerald White of Augusta, Georgia. Fine young man. Coach, let's look at the schedule upcoming. It affords some great opportunities. Vanderbilt on Tuesday. Next Sunday, that's a week from tomorrow, it'll be Georgia on the road, and then the following Tuesday, Tennessee on the road. Things, you know, there's some great opportunities out there. Vanderbilt, a home game, and a chance to really make a fast start and start getting up there in those win numbers that'll get you into the NCAA tournament.
Well, of course, it's great to play at home. And Vanderbilt's playing very good basketball at the moment. The minute they hit the league, they started playing like everybody expected the Vanderbilt team to do. But like you say, it is a home game, and it's a game that we need to win. We're going on the road for two very difficult games. Georgia picked in the top 20 and maybe up as far as 9th in the country by now. And Tennessee's the same old Tennessee, won on a 30-footer this last week.
What a cough-up it was,
yeah,
but it went
right
in.
at the last minute. So, you know, it doesn't get easy down the road, but yet we're going in there with a chance to win these basketball games.
As you know, we made no reference to the Kentucky game because this program was taped prior to the game, and of course we could not refer to it because we had no knowledge of it. But we'll be back next week, and we'll review that Vanderbilt game and the upcoming games for you on the Auburn Basketball Review. Good luck to you and the players, Coach Smith, this week. And let me urge you to get out and see those Auburn Tigers at Memorial Coliseum, because this is a team that Auburn fans can be proud of, and I venture to say down toward the end of the season it'll be difficult to get a ticket. See you next week.
Thank you.
The Auburn Basketball Review with Coach Sonny Smith has been brought to you by the Colonial Company, and by Pepsi-Cola and your local Pepsi-Cola bottler, and by Long's Electronics, tomorrow's electronics today, and by the Adolph Coors Company. The best of the Rockies is yours. This has been a production of WSFA TV Sports.
Still buzzing about last night's SEC showdown of leaders in Auburn. The Tigers assumed the top spot in the league standings by pulling off the upset of the year to this point, knocking off previously unbeaten and second-ranked Kentucky, 82-63.
The 19-point Auburn win was no fluke. After falling behind 8-0 early, the Tigers gathered their poise and proceeded to turn the Wildcats every which way but loose. Chuck Person was the offensive spark. He led the Tigers with a game-high 25. He was scoring inside with driving layups like that one, and popping from the outside, hitting that one from the top of the key. Big Charles Barkley off the bench played maybe the best game of his career. He hauled down a game-high 10 rebounds against the Twin Towers, and he scored 21. Many of the power variety like that follow-up jam. Auburn's freshman guards harassed Kentucky's more heralded and experienced backcourt all night. They were a big reason for the Cats' astounding 24 turnovers. Gerald White, after causing a steal, gets one of the many transition layups for Auburn here. A 19-point win over mighty Kentucky. And no, it was not a fluke.
We knew we could beat them. Like I said before, we knew they could be beaten on a given night, and maybe the night was that night.
We decided before the game that we just going to go out and play our best with God's help. And just, if they beat our best, we wasn't going to worry about it. And we played our best, and just thank God we won.
We didn't go in the game with any means thinking it was going to be a picnic. We knew in order to get a victory, it was going to be a close game. So a 19-point victory on their side is surprising, but they were going in feeling that they weren't the underdog.
Well, I think Auburn's an excellent basketball team, as talented as anyone we've played.
Well, in more college basketball this afternoon, UAB